Hey guys, I thought I'd better make an update video before I got too far into this. We kind of changed gears on what we were doing. Originally we had started with an 86 square body Chevy, but we were going to put a 5.9 in because it looked like it was a little easier. This truck here is a 04 GMC with the Duramax, and this truck is actually what started all of this 5.9 conversion stuff. Like I said, it's got the Duramax in it, but I thought it'd be really cool to have a 5.9 in it, so I went and bought that 5.9, 1,500 bucks. Didn't have a clue about it, and a buddy of mine said, well heck, as long as that truck's running, why do you want to pull a perfectly good motor out to put another one in? And I thought, well, that makes sense. So that motor's been sitting in the garage here for about 2.5 years now, 2 years anyway, at least 2 years. And this truck finally went down about 10 months ago, and I've had it to 3 different shops and nobody can seem to figure out what's wrong with it. It cranks, it won't fire. Was running perfectly fine one night, got in it the next morning, didn't crank. Threw a code telling me it was a fuel pressure regulator. I put 3 in it, truck still didn't start. Truck's got 295,000 miles on it. Still pretty straight, pretty clean. I've done a few upgrades to it. We put the pull-out tow mirrors on it, put the overhead roof marker lights on it. It did have a little nicer wheel tire on it than this, but when it went down, I put them on this truck. That's my daily driver, which is not a diesel. It's a 5.7 Hemi, and it's a gutless piece of junk. So I miss my diesel. As soon as we can get it back on the road, that other one's going up for sale. I've done quite a bit to this truck. Put the cold air intake on it, removed the fans, put the Flex Light electric fans on it. I was using the PPE Hot Plus 2 tuner, and this truck, it was hot at one point. It would flat scream. But now it's down, and if you've seen some of my other videos, seen the one of me starting this motor, sounds perfectly fine. I've started it 2 or 3 times since that video, let it run for a little bit. I'm not seeing any blow by on it at all, so we're gonna yank that out and put this in. I've seen lots of videos on the Cummins swap out of the 6-liter gas with the 4L80 behind it, but I've never seen one in a 3/4 heavy with the Allison behind it. So I was really hoping to find somebody that I could kind of mimic their video and see what they did, see what they liked, see what they didn't, and help me out here. But the only thing I know is I'm not going to have near enough room in the engine compartment. That motor right there, from harmonic balancer to the back of the block where the adapter plate fits, is 34 inches. So I figure at that point I'm going to need about 36 to be safe. And I got to looking last night, and if you can see right in here where the transmission and the block are, from that point with the tape measure up touching my radiator, is 33 inches. So that transmission is going to have to slide back, and I'm going to have to somehow figure out how to get about 6 inches, because that fan right there is exactly 4. So actually I need about 7. 35 for the engine compartment, and 4 for the fan, plus a couple inches each side for clearance. So I got down to looking. I don't know if any of y'all have watched the videos from DeBoss Garage. Rich does a pretty good job of explaining his builds, and I really like watching them. But his 05, he used the 4L80. And in that truck, he mentioned that you have right here, for the cross members that hold the T-case, you've got 3 sets of bolt holes. And his was in the front set. He moved them back 2 to the back set. There's a set here, and then there's going to be one right in here. Anyway, they're exactly an inch apart. But on this Allison, the Allison's set up in the center set of bolt holes, so I can only go back 1 set, which will only give me an extra inch. And that's not going to be enough. So I thought, well, I'll just slide all the brackets back, make new holes, and it'll be good. But as you can see right here, there's the T-case, and there's the cross member, and that's only 2 1/4 inches. So my crossover bracket that holds the stabilizers is in the way, and I suspect what's going to happen is, I watched a video on the Skyjacker 4-inch suspension lift that looks like it'll get that bracket out of the way. I really wasn't wanting to spend another $1,800, but sure, why not? This truck's only got 33-inch tires on it, and I'd really like to go up to 35. Plus, in that 4-inch lift, this bracket here comes out and drops down, and I'm afraid if that pan on that Cummins is anywhere near this, that's gonna hit. This will have to come out anyway. So right now I'm just kind of looking at all the obvious things that are in the way. I think I've got plenty of electronics or wiring, extra wiring to move everything back. And then, just like everybody else, I'll have to shorten the rear drive shaft, lengthen the front, which that's not a big deal. Gonna be a little more than I wanted to do, but I really want to get to running this truck again. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the GM alternator and the GM AC compressor. There's an aftermarket adapter where that compressor fits right here. So I'm gonna have to get a different intake horn, because that will be in this spot here. I guess I could use the one off my 91 and just turn it around this way and come out, but I really don't like the square look of it. I like the aftermarket round, nice bend that should flow air better. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So we put the 86 on the 85 on the back burner. One reason is because as I was getting into it, my son, who that truck there belonged to, his grandmother gave it to him when his grandfather passed away, saw that black 85 and said, "Dad, can we swap? I'd rather have that. That's going to be a way cooler truck." And I said, "Well, what the heck? Yeah, sure, why not?" But the stipulation there was, I'm not building it for him. He's going to have to come, and he's going to have his hands on it too. And he's right in the middle of school right now, so it'll probably be next spring before we get to that one. But anyway, we've got that truck out there to work with. We're going to put a different front and rear axle under it. We're going to take it from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. And then you've already seen, if you subscribe to my channel, you've already seen the 85. And if you haven't subscribed and want to see some, what I think is going to be some really cool projects over the next couple of years, well, hit subscribe, and I appreciate it. Got one more vehicle that we're going to do. I don't even remember what it is. I bought it as a package with that motor that's been machined. That's another 5.9 block, and a NV 4500. It's either a 70, I want to say it's a 79 or 80 crew cab Chevrolet that I thought I might put a 5.9 in, but I may just take this motor here and hold on to it and redo it and put the Duramax in that. I don't know yet. It's the last one on the list, so it's